Magandang araw muli sa inyo mga magulang at mga kapatid. Ito po ang pang-apat na serye ng ating Coffee and Theology. Ito ay may kinalaman sa the communicable attributes of God. I hope nasusundan ninyo ang ating progress ng pagtalakay. Doon sa 1, sinabi natin na mapatutunayan bang may Diyos. Pangalawa, kung mayroong nga Diyos, makikilala naman ba natin ito? Pangatlo ay ano naman ang mga kakayanan nating mapatunayan na makikilala natin ang Diyos. Ngayon po ay ngayong nagpahayag na ang Diyos. He revealed Himself to us. Sa kanyang kalagayan bilang Diyos, ano ba ang mga katangian niya o attributes na i-transfer to us, may i-communicate sa atin upang patuloy itong ugnayang ito ay magsilbi na isang relasyon. Now that God is hidden, who is hidden before, is now known and open to us, revealed to us. Sa kanyang kalagayan bilang Diyos, ito nga ang ating mga nais malaman ngayon, na merong naipapasa o naililipat sa atin ang Diyos, unknown to us, but known to those who are conscious and sensitive. Ang mga katangiang ito ng Diyos, ano nga ba ito na naililipat sa atin? Yan po ang aking dadaling nga sa inyo ngayong umaga. Sa theology, ang tawag po sa usapang ito ay the communicable attributes of God. Ito yung naipapakipag-ugnayan niya sa atin bilang tao. Ito yung sa pakikipag-ugnayang ito ng Diyos sa tao ay inilitaw ng Diyos ang kanyang personalidad, ang kanyang pagka-Diyos, ang kanyang mga katangiang mauunawaan ng tao. Kaya talakayin natin yung una, the spirituality of God. Of course, God is spirit, meaning He is immaterial, He is invisible, He is without composition, but at the same time, He is self-conscious. At the same time, He is self-determining being. Sa Genesis account, man was made as a spiritual being. At sabi nga doon ay, let us make man in our own likeness, after our own image. So the spiritual aspect of God is given to us, man. And now that spirituality becomes one of the composition of man. And the spiritual aspect of man is equipped with rational and moral power to govern himself, to align himself with his world and with the being or God who made him. Pangalawa na i-communicate ng Diyos sa atin ay yung tinatawag na the intellectuality aspect of God or attributes of God. This intellectuality of God refers to the knowledge of God, meaning everything has started from the idea of God, that therefore He is the architect of all, and therefore He knows them all. He created even its time, hence the claim, I am eternal, I am who I am. And Jesus also said, I am the same yesterday, today, and forever, in Hebrews chapter 13 verse 6. And it tells us not only of His power but of His intellectuality. And ang pangatlo ay yung the wisdom of God. Itong wisdom ng Diyos na ito ay communicate din niya sa atin. In fact, naisasali niya ito sa atin. This is a separate particular aspect of God. You see, knowledge is acquired by study, but wisdom is the result of the understanding of this knowledge. Knowledge is theoretical, and wisdom is applying the best of this knowledge. So God applies His knowledge to the attainment of His purpose, of His plans. At yan, dahil meron ding tayo niyan, knowledge and then wisdom. At ang sabi nga natin that wisdom is of course the best choices of all the information and understanding or knowledge that we as man have. Yung pang-apat ay yung the veracity of God. Pag sinabi nating veracity of God, meaning He is the truth. Metaphysically, ethically, morally, and logically, He is the truth. Thus, the truth of God is the foundation of all knowledge. And Jesus said also that I am the way, the truth, and the life. And in Exodus chapter 34 verse 6, God said that He is the truth. And this truth, or the veracity of God, is communicated to us. Man is equipped with the logical reasoning, and he knows what is right and what is wrong, because that attribute of God is given and transferred to us, for us man, with this spirituality and physical and the composition of us as man in totality is equipped with this truth of God. Therefore, man is always in the business of knowing the truth, because for him truth is a thing that will give him really the best in this life. At ang panglima ay yung tinatawag na the moral attribute ng Diyos. Goodness is one of the moral attributes of God. Kaya nga sinasabi, God is good all the time, and all the time God is good. Love, the other expression of this goodness of God, and that God is eternally moved to self-communication, and He loves His rational creature for His own sake, and He does not withdraw Himself completely even to sinners, as in John 3:16, for God so loved the world. Alam niya yan. At dahil dito, God is loving, and this is one of His moral attributes. And under this moral attribute is His grace. His grace, or charis in Greek. The grace of God is the source of all spiritual blessings that are bestowed upon sinners. Binabanggit yan sa Ephesians chapter 1 verses 6 and 7. This grace is a saving grace. Hence the word redemption is applied to all men. Kaya yung grace na yan ang naging pagindahilan ng kanyang pagtubos, pag-redeem sa lahat ng tao. And aside from that, we have this mercy, or chesed in Hebrew, and rakam in Greek, is the goodness and love of God shown to all who are in misery, and that this mercy is bountiful, ayon sa patutuo ng Deuteronomy chapter 5 verse 10 at Psalm chapter 57 verse 10. Yeah, under that moral attributes, this goodness, this love, this grace, this mercy, is the long suffering of God na papasa din at ipapaunawa sa atin, mapagpatawad, maunawain, mapagpasensya. This means that He is slow to anger despite of man's continued disobedience. At dyan din ginagamit yung salitang forbearance, o matyaga, mapaghintay, mapaghinay-hinay, as in the record of Exodus chapter 34 verse 6 at 2 Peter chapter 3 verse 25. Kaya so far itong mga communicable attributes ng Diyos na ipakikipag-ugnayan sa atin at nauunawaan naman natin. In fact, nagagamit natin at naisasakatuparan natin sa ating mga buhay. It is transferred into the reality of our life, and we are governed by them. Pang-anim ay yung tinatawag na the holiness of God. Itong holiness of God has, two close classifications. One is that it refers to Him as absolute, ganap, kaiba, hiwalay, sa lahat ng kanyang mga nilikha, ganap at sobrang matayog at walang hanggan sa kanyang kaluwalhatian. Secondly, itong holiness na ito, bagamat ganun ang nature niyan, it awakens man in his ethical aspect, because he realizes that God is free of errors. That is why man is driven to create law and guided by his own reason, conscience, experience, and understanding of this God. You see, laws are ethically based, ethically made. Kaya nga, if you are a law-abiding citizen, it means that you are a highly ethical person. And being ethical means that you understand the principle of what is right and what is wrong. Ang isa pa sa communicable attribute ng Diyos sa atin ay yung tinatawag na the righteousness of God. Is closely related yan sa holiness of God, but this one is transitive, ika nga, in nature. Transitive in holiness. Nang ibig sabihin ay inia-apply ito sa justice o katarungan, where God instituted to His moral being. You violate the law, you get corresponding punishment. You obey it, you get corresponding reward, and you will be at peace and in harmony to both God and man. And first of all, God is the lawgiver. That is why man has the capability to create law. But the danger of this is to later create a law that will serve as basis of truth na taliwas sa mga nais at kagustuhan ng Diyos, as in Ezra 9:15 and Nehemiah chapter 9 verse 8 and 1 John chapter 2 verse 29. Mapapansin ninyo sa tinatawag na global issues and itong mga tinatawag na issues about the need for man to be recognized. I mean, his rights must be above all, at sa kanyang pagnanais ng kanyang karapatan ay maging higit sa lahat ay tumatama na ito at lumalabag sa mga limitasyon niya na may kinalaman naman sa mga karapatan at pamantayan ng Diyos. Kaya later on magko-conflict ito eh. Nonetheless, hindi naman yon ang issue ngayon. Ang issue ngayon is that man is God has communicated to man His righteousness, and that this righteousness awakens man to be a really moral and ethical being. At siguro ang pangwalo at panghuli na po pwede nating banggitin sa communicable attribute ng Diyos ay yung tinatawag na the sovereignty of God. He is the creator, and that His will is the cause of all things. He upholds the things with His power, and He rules as King, as absolute God, at walang pagkakamali sa pag-execute ng kalooban at kapangyarihan ng makapangyarihang Diyos na ito, sapagkat siya'y maalam sa lahat at sumasa lahat. At dahil dito ay ang kakayanang mamahala, kakayanang manguna, kakayanang maging makapangyarihan kahit sa sandali sa buhay na ito ng tao ay nagagamit ng tao, because this being a sovereign God is communicated to man. Therefore, man has the idea of how to be a sovereign being. Sa susunod na pagtalakay natin, mga kapatid, ay tatalakayin naman natin yung mga incommunicable. Hindi po pwedeng ma-communicate sa tao at sa Diyos lang talaga yon. Ito yung mga napag-usapan natin ngayong umaga. I'm glad, God bless you all. At nawa ay sa pagkakape natin at sa pagharap sa maghapon ito na maulap-ulap, maulan dito sa Cavite ay we're guided of this truth, of those things, the personality of God, the nature of God communicated to us, His creation, His beloved. Purihin ang Panginoon ngayong umaga.